Other men come forward with harassment allegations against Kevin Spacey. Several men have now shared stories of being sexually harassed by Kevin Spacey after Star Trek Discovery actor Anthony Rapp came forward with his own story earlier this week. In an interview with BuzzFeed, Rapp said that the House of Cards star invited him to a party and made a sexual advance toward him on a bed in the 1980s. At the time, Rapp was 14 and Spacey was 26. In response, Spacey posted a widely criticized apology to Twitter on Monday that contained his first public declaration of being gay. On Tuesday, film director Tony Montana told Radar Online that Spacey groped him in 2003. HuffPost confirmed the story with Montana. "He grabbed me very hard," Montana told HuffPost. The overnight documentarian said he was ordering a drink at the bar in 2003 when Spacey put an arm around him and made a joke about the title of a movie he'd recently been in. Then he tried to convince Montana to leave with him, the filmmaker said. Montana told Radar, "Spacey grabbed my whole package." This designates ownership, Montana recalled the actor telling him. Montana said that Spacey then followed him into the bathroom, after which Montana told the actor's friends to take him home, and the group ended up leaving. Montana hopes that sharing his story has an impact, not just regarding issues of sexual harassment, but people using power in other threatening manners in Hollywood. I would hope that is going to lessen, if not go away, he told HuffPost. I hope that this isn't just a phase, it isn't just a cycle that's going to come and go. On Wednesday, a man who wished to remain anonymous shared another story on BBC Two's Victoria Derbyshire program, saying that he spent a weekend at the actor's New York City home as a 17-year-old in the mid-'80s. Spacey allegedly pressured the teen into sharing his bed and was sobbing when his guest refused the offer. In the morning, I woke up and Spacey's head was on my stomach and his arms were wrapped around my torso very affectionately, I would suppose, the man said. He certainly wasn't aggressive, but it was affectionate and certainly not something I was comfortable with as a heterosexual male. The two had met at a summer theater program. Spacey would have been in his mid-20s at the time. I was uncomfortable at best, traumatized at worst, the man said, per the BBC. Another story about the House of Cards star appeared in the British tabloid The Sun. On Tuesday, the publication reported that Spacey exposed himself in 2010 to a man named Daniel Beale, who was working as a bartender at an English hotel. The allegations have been enough to concern London's Old Vic Theatre, where Spacey served as artistic director from 2004 to 2015, where the theatre claims no complaints were made against Spacey during his tenure there. It released a statement Tuesday expressing its deep dismay about its former employees' alleged misbehavior. We aim to foster a safe and supportive environment without prejudice, harassment, or bullying of any sort at any level. The statement read, Old Vic has opened a tip line, confidential at oldvictheatre.com, for those who have been involved with its productions to share any complaints anonymously. However, a report published Wednesday in The Guardian claims that a number of people have contacted the publication with stories about misbehavior by Spacey during his time as artistic director at the Old Vic, citing stories by one anonymous and one named source. The publication accused the theater of ignoring past complaints. According to Mexican actor Roberto Cavazos, Unwanted sexual advances toward younger men were common when Spacey was at the Old Vic. In a Spanish-language Facebook post shared Monday, Cavazos said he personally experienced behavior that was on the borderline of being considered assault. Spacey would allegedly make his advances after inviting younger actors to meet with him to talk about their careers, setting up champagne picnics on stage as a meeting spot, or else he would approach men at bars. Those of us who knew him in London when he was director at the Old Vic Theatre know that there will be many more victims who will dare to tell their stories in the next days and weeks. He wrote, I wouldn't be surprised if the numbers were similar to those of Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein, the now former head of Weinstein Company, stands accused by more than 50 women of sexual harassment and assault. Netflix, home of House of Cards, announced this week that the upcoming 6th season of the fan-favorite series will be its last. Production has been suspended while executives address any concerns from cast or crew.